Hello to all of you, my lovely students in the 8th grade. How are you today? Welcome back to my English lessons. It's me, your English teacher, Iman Al-Jafari from Ru'al Farouk Academy. As I told you in our previous lesson, the title of this unit is In My View. So in our lesson today, we are going to revise the type of the text that you are going to read. Then we are going to define the meanings of some words and phrases while reading. Then the last step, you are going to read the first part of the text and identify the main ideas. So let's start. As I told you in our previous lesson, the type of the text that you are going to read is a survey. In this survey, people are going to give their point of view about text messaging. So, if I ask you who conducted this survey was done by Language Magazine. Again, who can remind us what do you mean by survey? It is a group of questions that are asked to people in order to gather some information or data about something, okay? In our previous lesson, Amy told us why is she against using text messages. As she told us, while texting, people use no punctuation marks, no capital letter, no full stops. So because of this, written English can be unclear or difficult to understand. So if I ask you, according to Amy's point of view, what makes written English totally unclear? Excellent. She thinks that without punctuation marks, written English can be totally unclear. What do you mean by a bee in my bonnet? Excellent to think that something is so important. What do you mean by written English can rendered meaningless without punctuation marks? Excellent. It can be unclear. What do you mean by solely? Excellent. It means only. In the fourth paragraph, Jiffin Battle told us why is he with using text messaging. He gave us two reasons for excellent using text messages. The first one was it is a quick and immediate way of passing on information. So he is with using text messages because it is a quick هي طريقة سريعة ومباشرة immediate معناها direct way of passing on information. The second reason was because excellent it is a very private way of communication. هي طريقة خصوصية فيها خصوصية للتواصل مع الناس. So people in the vicinity cannot hear you while texting, but they can hear you while making a phone call. So if I ask you, what do you mean by advantageous? Excellent, likely to make something successful. If I ask you, what do you mean by it is here to stay? This phrase means excellent to last for a long time. So text messages will last for a long time. What do you mean by the noun vicinity? Vicinity معناها a place nearby يعني المكان المجاور. And now let's start reading the fifth sample that was written by Maria Ferreira. My major concern is the very limited vocabulary needed to be proficient at texting. Feelings are expressed using smiley or disgruntled yellow faces or emoticons. The rich and varied content of English language is limited to a few stock phrases, and young people are losing the ability to express themselves in any way other than great or hate. So Maria Ferreira is against using text messages. Let's reread the text in order to know why. My major concern يعني الانترست تبعتها الاهتمام is the very limited vocabulary needed to be proficient at texting. يعني الناس وهي بتتواصل مع بعض بالtext messages they need very limited vocabulary. أحيانا نتواصل مع بعض إحنا ما بنستخدم كلمات كتير so very limited vocabulary يعني المصطلحات القليلة اللي أنت بتحتاجها in order to be proficient تيجي بمعنى very good in order to be very good at texting. إذا هل texting هي مهارة بتحتاج إنك تكون كتير عندك مصطلحات؟ No. So feelings are expressed using smiley or disgruntled yellow faces. يعني الناس مش كتير بتستخدم كلمات while texting. هلا احنا صرنا نعتمد على الوجوه الضاحكة or اللي هي اليلو faces اللي هي اللي احنا بنستخدمها instead of words, or emoticons هي نفسها اللي هي اليلو faces or اللي هي some sample that we use instead of words اللي هي الرموز الانفعالية أو التعبيرية اللي إحنا نستخدمها بدلاً من الكلمات. The rich and varied content of English language is limited to a few stock phrases. يعني إحنا بدل ما نستخدم مصطلحات اللغة الإنجليزية الغنية صرنا نستخدم stock phrases بمعنى simple expressions يعني تعابير بسيطة. And young people are losing the ability to express themselves in any way other than great or hate. زي ما حكينا إحنا صرنا نستخدم stock phrases or emoticons instead of words, and this is why Maria Ferreira is against using text messages. Okay, so if I ask you why is Maria against using text messages? Excellent, because of the very limited vocabulary needed to be proficient at texting. يعني بسبب اللي هي المصطلحات القليلة اللي انت بتحتاجها حتى تكون ممتاز في اللي هو الرسائل او التواصل مع الاخرين. اوكي. The last sample that we are going to read is written by Sarah Evans. Text messaging is here to stay. More and more young people have mobile phones and choose texting as a quick and efficient means of communications. Some people want to ban text messaging. What a ridiculous notion. What we have to do is to ensure that young people know that language and the convention of texting with all their abbreviations, missing punctuations and odd spellings are appropriate only for texting and shouldn't be used in any other form of written communication. We won't do that by trying and failing to ban it. As adults, one of the main reasons we don't like the idea is that to many of us it is strange and new. So learn about it, be willing to use it appropriately, and then you can advise young people how to use it wisely and selectively. So in this paragraph, Sarah Evans said that text messaging is here to stay. Again, who can remind us what do we mean by here to stay؟ يعني text messaging سوف تدوم لوقت طويل. هي مش إشي ترند يعني راح يطلع لفترة قصيرة ويروح. No, text messaging is here to stay. More and more young people have mobile phone. خصوصا إنه الشباب عمالهم بصير معاهم تليفونات. So they choose texting as a quick and efficient means of communicating. عمالهم بيختاروا الرسائل القصيرة لأنها طريقة سريعة and efficient بمعنى working well. okay, يعني هي طريقة فعالة للتواصل بين الناس. Some people want to ban text messaging. ban بمعنى to stop. في بعض الناس عمالهم بيحتجوا بيحكوا لك stop text messaging يعني خلينا نوقف هاي الظاهرة. So what ridiculous notion بمعنى شو هالفكرة السخيفة اللي هي silly idea. What we have to do is to ensure that young people know that the language and convention of texting with all their abbreviation, missing punctuation and odd spelling are appropriate only for texting. يعني إحنا لازم نقنع الشباب إنه الابريفيشن الاختصارات اللي إحنا بنستخدمها بالتكستنج missing punctuation اللي هي علامات الترقيم اللي إحنا ما بنحطها الأود سبيلينج اللي هي الأخطاء الكتابية أو الإملائية هذا الإشي only suitable or appropriate مناسب بس للمسجات. يعني أنت لما تكون في المدرسة لازم تكتب في الطريقة الصحيحة أما while texting it is no problem. okay, so shouldn't be used in any other form of written communication. إذا هي بتحكي لك الأشياء اللي أنت بتستخدمها while texting اللي هي الاختصارات والodd spelling والmissing punctuation استخدمها only in texting لكن لا تستخدمها in any other written form of communication. Okay, we won't do that by trying and failing to ban it. يعني إحنا إذا جربنا إنه نمنع التكستينج إحنا you are going to fail، يعني إحنا ما رح ننجح في إنه نمنع هاي الظاهرة. ban it it هون تعود على text messaging. As adults, one of the main reasons we don't like the idea is that to many of us it is strange and new. So learn about it. Be willing to use it appropriately. يعني بدل من انه نحكي لهم توقف عن استخدام التكست مسجز، no، احنا نحكي لهم use text messages but appropriately. وما معنى appropriately؟ يعني suitably، يعني بشكل صحيح، in the correct way. يعني احنا لازم نعلم الشباب كيف يستخدموا التكستينج في الشكل الصحيح. Then you can advise young people. هون في نصيحة وجهتها سارة إيفانس للشباب how to use it. it برضو بتعود على التكست messaging، كيف نستخدم التكست messaging wisely and selectively، يعني بالطريقة الصحيحة. So if I ask you, give me 3 things suitable to use in text messages or in texting but shouldn't be used in written communication. يعني أعطيني 3 أشياء إحنا بنقدر نستخدمها in texting، يعني في التواصل مع الآخرين بالمسجات، لكن ما لازم نستخدمها في أي written communication، يعني في أي طريقة تانية أو في أي مكان تاني. زي ما حكيت لك إحنا حكينا عن الابريفيشنز اللي إحنا بنستخدمها بالتكستينج، missing punctuation اللي هي عدم استخدام علامات الترقيم، الأود spelling اللي هي الأخطاء الإملائية. sometimes you can use them in texting، يعني نقدر نستخدمهم في text messages but they cannot be used in any other form of written communication. Another question: what is Sarah's advice؟ شو كان نصيحتها لسارة؟ excellent to use text messages wisely and selectively. إذا هي نصحتنا إنه إحنا نستخدم text messaging wisely and selectively. Okay, my lovely students, I am going to stop here today. In our next lesson, we are going to start with some activities from your student book. Thank you very much.